Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Joe Bandel, and I am the last Rosicrucian. Today, I'm going to do a talk on the solar plexus chakra and opening the solar plexus chakra. Hopefully, I might be sharing a little bit of information that people don't know about it. Now, and I'm going to say that this is part of the series of the course that I'm offering to my patrons on patreon.com/anarchistbanjo. And I'm offering it, I mean, it goes, each one of these lectures, if you will, or informative videos has a solo meditation and a group meditation that goes along with it. Well, they're going to still be only available to the patrons, but I'm going to share this one for the open public. Just to kind of give an idea, to kind of share what it is that people are missing out if they're interested. And a lot of this stuff in the course that I'm doing, which is the Oak Tantra and Etheric Warrior training course, these are things that I've just learned myself that I don't think you're going to find much anyplace else, or if you do, it won't be in exactly the same format. So anyway, it's just, I think, interesting information. We've already worked with opening the crown chakra, the chakra in the middle of the brain, which is the actually spiritual concrete chakra center. The only has two awareness points. The third eye chakra, the throat chakra, both of which have 8 awareness points or sensory points. The heart, which was the first one with 18, and this is the solar plexus, which would be the second one with 18. And you say, well, where do these numbers come from? Well, the idea is each permanent astral body corresponds to a Nobel gas. A Nobel gas resists mingling with the other elements. It does try to remain kind of pure, and it is kind of a barrier. And each astral body has that many awareness points as it has electrons in the outer, or in its particular ring, if you will, atomic ring. With the bottom two, of course, the lower two, the etheric and the physical, immortal physical, so to speak, and the etheric both having 32. And what we're doing as we are trying to activate these various astral bodies is we're trying to bring our normal awareness down layer by layer. And if our normal awareness has, let's say, 8 awareness points, we're trying to bring those 8 down, because each electron ring or each particular type of astral body can duplicate or replicate the form of consciousness that 8 has, or that 2 have with the archetypal, or even down to the 18 when it comes down into the 32. Now, one of the things that gets kind of complicated is we can understand 8 because 8 sensory inputs or 8 awareness points is almost like you have 5 senses, 5 physical senses, and then you got a couple more that could fit in there, like weight or something like that. So I'm just kind of sharing that as an example of 8 is not too far fetched for those kind of things. Okay, but the what we call the upper emotional, the heart, and the lower emotional, which is the solar plexus, they're the emotional, and you all of a sudden you have it's much deeper and it's much richer. Okay, but we can still say, well, okay, I understand. Would be the astral body. Either one of those could form astral bodies. But what about these 32? 32, like the immortal physical and the etheric below that with 32. How are we supposed to even have 32 sensory inputs? Well, the truth of the matter is that when we get down to the bottom 2 layers, the bottom 2 astral bodies that each have 32 awareness points or sensory inputs, a lot of times we're not consciously aware of all 32. I mean, can you control your heartbeat? Can you control your breathing? Can you control your blood pressure? Some of these things happen automatically, but they're still functioning systems. And so conscious awareness is not necessarily going to reach down to those because those are not really conscious. We're not if that makes sense. And the reason that I'm bringing this up now is because with the solar plexus center, if you grab, I think I've read like 3 or 4 books on astral projection, things like that. Most of these books, they're talking about how normally you exude or eject substance, an astral substance from the solar plexus. And one of the books, maybe more of them, they're saying this is because that's a really sensitive spot for this emotional or astral energy, so it's easier for people to do that. Well, I just find it kind of interesting that it's also if you have 5 books on astral projection and all 5 of them are saying that you're probably going to start out astral projecting at the solar plexus area, well, that implies at the least that that the astral body is going to have the 18 sensory inputs or awareness points activated. And so it's going that that astral projection experience is going to be very much like what your normal awareness would be like, as opposed to some of the like mental projections, which are more like a probe, where you might not even be aware of anybody, but your mind is going out. Or if you get a deeper experience where it's really you're feeling things that where everything's almost physical, where it's almost physical, like there's weight, there's barriers that you can't get through, things of that nature. Because when you start looking at astral projections, you start looking at dream experiences, there's a lot of different barriers. There's different things that kind of allow a person to determine what kind of level that they are at. But anyway, so we're talking about opening up the solar plexus center. And one of the things that it sounds kind of silly, but recently, in the last year or so, that I really understood about the solar plexus energy and what it is, what it substantially is, experientially is. When you go up to somebody and you confront somebody, or they confront you, and there's kind of like a sharpness, like you can feel that other person's energy. It doesn't mean you're being attacked or anything like that, but it's like not warm fuzzy either. It's kind of like, oh, this is a sense of personality. This is a strong personality here. And you can sense it and you can feel it. That is the astral body. That is the energy of the solar plexus. It's really, in so many ways, it's like the personality astral body. Not the ego astral body, which is more the heart center, but the actual substantial, this is me, or this is you. That personality that you can feel, that you come up against, and sometimes you clash. But the hallmark that I'm talking about is where you really feel that person for the first time. And you really feel their aura as being impactful as a person. So I'm just bringing that out as kind of an item of interest, because that's specific to the solar plexus. I don't know that other people have really explained that particular astral body that way, but I have. Okay, now we're continuing. I'm going to kind of bring up the meditations that I will be doing that go along with this opening up the solar plexus chakra center. By now, we're going to be taking the original energy ball. This is for the solo meditation. We'll be taking the original oak energy ball, be raising it up into the light, charging it, bringing it down gradually, and it will be attracting negative, repressed emotions, negative things, just black shit in general, like a magnet, and then we bring it up and we get rid of it. We just turn it into the light and recharge that energy ball because there's a very powerful attraction between the spiritual light and this black energy, this repressed energy, this earth energy, if you will. Because there's healthy earth energy and there's poisoned, toxic energy. But we're trying to clear the energy pathways and get rid of the toxic energies, and that just kind of grabs on first. That's why a lot of people who are really working with spiritual light attract the darkness that is being attracted. That's why they, in a certain ways, invite attack, if you will. But anyway, working the solitary meditation, you're actually continuing that process, and it's moving that energy ball up and down the spine like an elevator. And when you get the practice of rising up and down the spine like in an elevator, that's learning how for your awareness to actually be rising on the planes. And what rising on the planes is actually you're changing astral bodies. If you're the solar plexus is a lower emotional astral body, lower emotional body. When it moves up into the heart center, that lower emotional astral body can't continue because it can't exist at the heart level. So what your awareness is actually doing is it's shifting seamlessly, it's shifting into the upper emotional levels. And as it moves even higher and it goes into the throat center, it's becoming mental energy. So it seems like your awareness is rising up and rising down the planes, but it's actually seamlessly moving, being able to move from one type of energy to another type of energy to another type of energy. So it's creating communication lines, if you will. It's creating energetic pathways, and it's allowing awareness to travel those pathways, and it's learning to transmute one kind of energy into another kind. Or maybe it's better to say your awareness is able to make use of one type of energy and when needed instantly make use of another type of energy and move from one reality or kingdom, if you will, to the other. And as we go deeper down, you're doing the same thing. You're bringing that 18-point awareness, ideally, down into the 32 levels. And there's two of them, okay? But you're bringing that 18-point awareness down, or you're bringing down, maybe all you can do is bring down the mental awareness, which is 8 awareness points. But you're being able to bring that down. So that's the practice that the solo meditation is actually allowing. That's what makes it so very important to do. We don't think about the skills that, in a lot of ways, this reminds me of that movie Karate Kid, where the kid is he's Mr. Miyagi or whatever his name is, tells the kid, "Well, we're going to have you wax the cars out there, and it's wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off." And the kid's like, "Well, what am I learning this for? What is this?" But then a little later on, he learns that is exactly the movement that's required when doing the karate. And that's kind of what these meditations, specifically the solo meditations, are really, they're training you to work in various states of like altered states. Because as you're working on these, as you go deeper and deeper, you get deeper and deeper into a different altered state. But what you're trying to do is bring an ordinary awareness down into a deeper level. That's so that when you're doing something like astral projecting and you come back into your body, you have a memory. You have a memory because the awareness can shift easily and communicate. The levels can communicate together. So these are all factors that are coming into play as we get to the lower level astral bodies and etheric bodies, and why, in particular, why we're continuing with the solo meditation, which tends to be more difficult than the group meditations. So I think when you find yourself successfully doing one of these solo meditations, you can feel pretty good about it, because that's the hardest way to do it. Another thing that we're going to be bringing up, I think I'll start that in this meditation, as your awareness kind of rests for a moment in a particular chakra center. And we have several of them right now that it can rest in for a few minutes. It's another very good practice to try to find your awareness focused within that chakra center only. Now there's two different practices that, working solo or working with a chakra center. One of them is where you can kind of shift your awareness until it's like you're aware of everything around you, but it's like aware that's focused and coming out of that particular chakra center. And that ability to kind of shift that awareness point really is good. But another one that we're going to try to start working with as well is where there's an energy ball, there's an energy source, or source energy that's above you, and what you're trying to do is line it up so that it's directly, exactly over you, and it shines down through your spine. And it's kind of a weird situation where, okay, I can move you can kind of wave your hands a little bit, try to move, visualize or will will that focus or that light to move, or the astral substance to move, so you get a clear shot. It's kind of like looking down when it's directly overhead, it's kind of like looking down a pipe, or looking down a gun barrel, or looking down something. So it's a straight shot. It's not a glancing blow. And when that happens, the signal, if you will, the light, the connection is the strongest that it can be. So what I'm getting at is it's really important to try to sense these states, these energetic states, because the more you practice them, the more natural it becomes to experience them. Now, on the group meditation, let's face it, they're not as fancy, they're not as uh, oh, they're not as, oh wow, what a meditation, that kind of thing is. The thing is that the most powerful meditations that I do now are group portal meditations, because a group meditation, the portal meditations, they have so many things that really are really powerful that they add to. The thing is, we got to kind of work our way to the point where we're picking up the earth energy and we're getting that return current going back before anything really significant is going to happen with those. So I'm just going to say, bear with me. Try to try to do each meditation to the best of your ability. With the group meditations, when you can, what you're really doing is try to sense your own chakra center lighting up and sending that particular type of energy to other members and receiving it from them. I can say right now, in the meditation that I'm doing now, which is a vital life force meditation that I just shared with people, the solar plexus is one of the weaker. It's a little more difficult for me because that's the lower emotions center, and I really have not really I'm not really as highly developed at that level as I should be or could be. But what happens when I'm working the group meditation? Okay, I'm trying to send that energy out to other people of the circle, and then I'm trying to kind of bring it back or whatever. And as I work with that energy, I finally, it really lights up, and the whole circle feels filled. And then my entire body also feels filled with that energy so that I can kind of work with it. So the group energy is helping me uh, to be more successful with that particular type of meditation. So I'm just saying that each one of these has their own strengths, and they are training us and training us to recognize how to blend energies and how to merge energies, whether it's merging energies with a group or merging chakras one on top of the other, that kind of stuff. All of those things are very powerful, and they come in needed. They're very needed as we get further developed and we're actually uh, being attacked coming under attack and needing to defend ourselves and needing to transmute toxic energies into empowering energies, as an example. So anyway, that's the end of this video, this lecture about the solar plexus, opening the solar plexus. Like I said, I'm going to make this one public so people can share it and realize there are already the heart, opening the heart chakra, opening the throat chakra, opening the third eye, and the first one, opening the crown chakra. There's meditations available for patrons only, and that is going to continue. I'm just kind of saying, okay, I'm going to make this one lecture open to the public, so if they're interested, they can see what we're doing over at my Patreon page, in case people would like to learn those things. In the meantime, the video that I just put out, which is the Vital Life Force meditation, is the one that I'm currently doing. And it's the most highly sophisticated and technical one that I have created so far. Granted, it's rough. It's not very smooth, but I created it while I was in an altered state. I was deep in an altered state. Sometimes the words don't come out the best way that they should, or there's little interruptions or things like that, but I created it for myself. And it is extremely powerful. And if a person could do that meditation successfully, why would they need to learn any of this other stuff that I'm trying to kind of show? They might not. But I'm trying to offer whatever people might find of interest, because we need to be working the root chakra. We need to be coming strong at the root chakra, and it's dangerous to work the root chakra without communication lines or safety channels to the higher levels. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I hope you find this of interest, and thank you very much.